This is day 22. I'm just doing it like that now. 22. I'm starting this off. This is what I drink every day. Lion's mane mushrooms, celery, carrot, clementines, and pears. And I drink this every day, not this exact one. I just throw whatever I've got in the fridge in there. I need it to just start the day, really. I want to help my body process everything properly. I don't want to eat just before I go to sleep and then eat as soon as I wake up. I need my body to recover. Drinking this in the morning, it gives me 3 or 4 hours until I can eat. That is rough. That is rough. It happens every day and it never becomes nice. Never going to taste good, but it's just something that I want to keep doing. It's something that I think is working pretty well. It gives me energy for a long time, but it doesn't fill myself up straight away with carbs and fat and salt and whatever. Purely just fruit and veg, just getting vitamins. And it does kind of fill me up a little bit until lunchtime, so there's no downside to this at all. I'm helping my liver regulate again, because your liver needs time to break everything down properly. If you start stacking carbs straight back on top, you're not going to have enough time to detox your liver. Anything to help my body, because this is what I live in. Like this skin, all the organs inside, this is what I deal with every day. I want to keep it as good as possible. That's why I try to eat as well as I can. Try to eat as little snacks, fizzy drinks. I do like caffeine though, but there's certain things that I think you can get attached to things really easily, and I don't really like getting attached to things. I like what I like on the day. There are just certain things that I just don't eat anymore. And I was saying this the other day to somebody, that I started fending for myself when I was about 13 or 14. I would go out and buy microwave meals, microwave mac and cheese, microwave curry, microwave burgers, and go home and cook them whilst my parents weren't home, because I was hungry and that's what I'd eat. I quickly, after a year, I realised that how I felt after I ate these was not good. I didn't like the feeling. I felt tired, lethargic. I kind of just felt out of it. That happened when I was about 13 or 14. I realised that these aren't good for me. I'm not going to eat these. And the same thing happened with sweets, fast food, snacks. When I was 13 or 14, and I finally started getting my own money, I would just go out and buy food. Go to McDonald's maybe once a week, because I had my own money now. I could just buy what I want. Every single time I'd finish eating, I'd feel bad. And I was really confused, because before I got the food, I was really excited. Then when I was eating the food, it was really enjoyable, because the flavour of like a McDonald's burger is just so addictive. The sweets taste amazing. Like they're sweet, they're sour. The mac and cheese just tasted so good. Like, and I didn't know why it tasted so good, but it made me feel so bad. I was very confused. But then after a while, I just stopped, because, you know, things get repetitive. I've tasted this flavour a million times now. So I've stopped eating it and I just spent my money on other things. And then I was like, hey, I'm feeling better now. Every time I eat a proper meal, like chicken and rice, beef stew, or something my parents have made for me, it felt good again. I put 2 and 2 things together and I realised that processed food, sweet snacks, fast food, those probably aren't that great for you. I realised this when I was probably about 15, came to the actual conclusion, and that's when I basically just stopped. And then when I got to 18 and 19, I kind of just forgot about all of that, because I was living on my own, didn't really have that much money, I was working, and I just went back to buying frozen pizzas, packet noodles and stuff. Obviously, because you're older, metabolism's completely different, your body is completely different. I started getting completely different side effects, really confused. Not only did I start getting lethargic and tired again, but I was getting spots everywhere, I was sleeping badly, mood swings and everything. Yeah, you can just blame that maybe on puberty, you can blame that on growing up. I was like 18 or 19, right? So I would suddenly get like in a really good mood, and then another time I'd just be like, I'd be angry, I'd like hate everything, I'd be not depressed, but I would think like, oh, what's the point? I can't even be bothered. And all I'd want to do is just eat like another frozen pizza. This only happened for about a year or two. I'd hang out with my friends and I'd just eat the worst food ever. I'd get fizzy drinks, I'd get crisps, sweets, chocolate, anything you can think of from a corner shop. And then the next day I'd wake up, my stomach would hurt, I just feel so dehydrated, demotivated, I'd feel depressed, I'd have these weird mood swings. And then the same thing happened. I was like, oh yeah, when I eat a proper meal, you know, I'd go around to other people's houses and the parents would make me food. I'd have like a really nice shepherd's pie, steak and broccoli, or something that actually has real food in it, and I wouldn't feel bad. So then again, the cycle repeated, and I went, it's because I'm not eating bad food. So then I stopped again. You know, the cycle continued another time. I think I moved house, and then the same cycle happened. I didn't have any money, and I just thought like, oh, like all proper food is expensive, so I just have to buy bad food. So then the same thing repeated. I was working somewhere else, I was eating terrible food, and I was confused. I was like, why am I feeling so bad? And I remembered again, it's because I'm eating bad food. So this is why you have to treat your body how you want to feel is in your control, and it's down to so much, down to diet massively. I think a lot of things that people say is wrong with them can be easily treated with diet. If you're feeling this thing that you think is awful, but you're eating oven baked pizza, you're eating chips, you're eating chicken nuggets, if it's even once a week, your body is still processing this stuff. Your body's not getting what it needs to get. Your body isn't getting what it needs to feel good. It's just getting a bunch of random stuff, and because it's not getting the right things, then you're going to feel bad. Plain and simple, it's so obvious. If you aren't trying to help yourself, then it just isn't going to work. It's not going to get better. The way you feel isn't going to get better if you're not having decent nutrition. And I'm not saying go on a diet. I've never been on a diet. I'm looking at what I'm eating. Pasta is alright for you, depending if you get good pasta. Cheese is alright for you if you get decent cheese. But if you just have mac and cheese, you're missing all of these vitamins that other foods have. Things that you're missing could be calcium, phosphorus, potassium, vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamins, minerals, B12, B6, niacin, iron. There's so many other things that you aren't getting if you're purely just eating mac and cheese, for example. And you might be cooking this yourself and thinking like, no, this is good. It needs to be in moderation. You can't just have one whole meal of mac and cheese. Do you know, this is just an example. It's kind of a stupid example, but if you're having mac and cheese, you have to have it balanced. I've realized it at least 3 times that what I'm doing is hurting myself. And I can look back at photos as well from when I was 14, 18 and so on. I can see so clearly that I was not treating my body right, and you can see it. You can see it in my mood in these photos. You can see it in my skin, you can see it in my hair, and just overall the way I look. You can kind of just tell that I'm not happy, and it is down to food. And I think you first have to try to change your diet, not go on a diet, just change your diet, change what you're eating to see if it helps. And you know, a great thing to do, Google isn't always right, and often it like overcomplicates a lot of things. If you use it in a certain way, it can be super useful. Say you have a headache, just type in headache vitamin deficiency, and it will say what you're lacking. It's basically like you have to find the cause first, which you can definitely do on Google, and then you kind of work backwards and you end up finding what you really need. So say you're always tired, you just be like, what deficiency leads to fatigue? Because that's all it is. It's always going to be a deficiency, or you're eating too much of something, right? And it will say vitamin B12, if you don't have enough of it, you can't sleep properly. So then you search vitamin B12 rich foods, and you'll find foods that have vitamin B12, and then you eat them and then see if you can still sleep. If not, then search for different things. You've got to help yourself first before you expect to get any results. You're not just going to improve overnight just by wanting to. You have to actually act on stuff. And if you want to have a good body, and you want to feel good, and you want to have clarity, you don't want brain fog all the time, you don't want to be addicted to screens because you can't live in your own body, you have to help yourself. And I think it starts with food a lot of the time. The smoothie I had in the morning, it doesn't taste good, but it's got so much in it. I know it's going to help me. I can already feel my brain getting clearer. I can feel my thoughts being a lot easier to process. I feel happier. I feel ready, feel like energetic. I want to go and do something now. But before, I was kind of tired. I was a bit groggy. Couldn't really be bothered for the day. Now I'm happy and ready to go. And that's purely just because I've had a bunch of vitamins that I hadn't had, and I've started speaking and just working. And already, I'm ready to go. It's that simple. There's proof right there. If there's anything that feels bad, try figure it out first and actually do something about it. And I'm sure not everything can be fixed, but I guarantee a massive proportion of problems you may think you have can be easily fixed by diet. In the long run, you'll feel way better, and you'll be glad you're not eating this awful food because you feel so good. But yeah, that's it.